A lot of thoughts went through my head when playing a short hike. Awe-inspiring, hidden gem, hilarious, heartwarming, and short-lived. In the couple hours it took me to have fun exploring in a short hike, I went in blind, and this review will remain plot spoiler free so you can experience that for yourself. A short hike gets so many things right while not overstaying its welcome. If you first glance at a short hike, you might think the graphics are a bit weird with its pixelated art style. Except this is very intentional on the developer's part and is actually customizable too. You can choose to have a big and crunchy pixelated style, all the way to smoothing it out completely. When I cycled through the different options, I actually preferred the more retro big and crunchy look. Artistically, the game offers a more cartoony look, and though maybe not as refined as Breath of the Wild, to my pleasant surprise, the gameplay actually reminded me of Breath of the Wild. Just in terms of there's a climb mechanic and gliding around as a bird feels a bit similar to gliding in Zelda. Of course this isn't Breath of the Wild by any means, and the game doesn't have an extremely large map. If you choose to not really explore, you could probably easily beat this game in about an hour or an hour and a half. However, please explore, because if you enjoy games that offer you freedom, you'll want to milk the few hours you can get out of this Switch gem. As you glide and climb your way around the mountain, you'll come across a variety of characters who sometimes have some quite amusing dialogue. I found myself laughing out loud, and I loved how the text was presented in a much more conversational text message format, so to speak, and came off as very natural instead of throwing a whole text window at you all at once with very slowly spoken voiceover. Square Enix, I'm looking at you. You'll get the few skills you need to traverse the mountain summit while running into the variety of characters throughout this, well, short hike of a game, and the controls make for a very smooth experience. While you might take one look at the graphics and think, well, the music probably sucks, well, in my humble opinion, you would be completely wrong. The few tracks that are in the game I think all sound fantastic and fit the particular section you are in, and there's actually a good bit of variety to the scenery of the mountain with the music changing accordingly, especially considering how quickly the game will be over. The inventory you collect along the way can become surprisingly extensive relative to the hours you put in, with a few items I never actually used, and a few hints to things that I know I could go back and check out if I'm inclined to replay the game. So there is actually a bit of replay value if you don't 100% everything the first time, and feel like putting your completionist hat on if that's your thing. Overall, I found it kind of crazy that a short hike was only $8, and yet I loved every minute of it. The music is fantastic, being able to glide and climb felt very Zelda-like in that freeing kind of way, and the characters I ran into along the way made me laugh and gently hinted as to what to do or where I could possibly go to look into a side objective. I was humming along to some of the music and loved how the small yet heartstring-tugging main story unfolded itself as I made my way to the end of the game. I felt very rewarded by the end of it, and personally, I think it's some of the best $8 I ever spent. Now, if you're craving a challenge in a game where you die a lot, well, this game is more of a relaxing experience. There's no life bar or real enemies to speak of here, and your challenge is the actual hike up the mountain itself. But if you want a game where you are free to roam around, run into amusing characters that might actually make you laugh out loud, and want to have a sense of awe as you're wondering why you're doing what you're doing, then a short hike is absolutely a Nintendo Switch gem, and one I'll be picking up from time to time whenever I need a game where I can relax for a couple hours instead of getting repeatedly mocked and maimed or something. Amazing music, super fun gameplay, and I loved every minute of it. So hey, maybe you will too. Thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on a short hike or any games you might be playing now, and I'll catch you in the next video.